Extroverts who ask others, "Why are you so quiet? What kind of response are you looking for?" I'm the quiet one and have asked my extrovert friend about this. For her, it's her anxiety telling her that I'm not taking because I'm mad at her. She is very uncomfortable with silence. We've both gotten better at being what the other needs in this regard. We have a mutual friend who is also an introvert, and we can sit and read for an afternoon and have a lovely time together, while the extrovert anxiously eyes us lol. This is a spectacular answer to a question where I assumed there was no logical reason beyond making someone feel publicly called out. I feel like the answer to most difficult questions often comes down to people's insecurities and/or traumas. One of my favorite surgeons is very quiet. Story told about him by another surgeon when he was a resident. Resident kept trying to ask about his kids, his holidays, making chit-chat. Surgeon says, "I'm comfortable with uncomfortable silences." End of conversation. One of my favorite co-workers was a guy that was equally comfortable sitting the next desk over in total silence for 4 to 6 hours at a time on the nights we worked together. It was so nice, going in knowing I wouldn't have to spend 15 minutes every hour or two trying to make small talk. Sad day when he left. I hope it wasn't because I asked him if he wanted anything from the snack rack that one time. Yep. It is kind of funny to see some of the people in this thread going on about how they think there's something wrong with the quiet person and they try to get them involved in a conversation as if they're doing them a service. But like I'm being quiet because I don't want to be in this conversation or I don't have anything of substance to contribute. Last time I commented on Reddit I posted this comment, below this paragraph. I figure I can place it here pretty much cut and pasted. I overheard a conversation between two coworkers last month about how awful it was that another coworker didn't get out much anymore and how she's changed for the worse. They spoke about how she used to be lively and fun to be around, and now she's just all depressed and never gets out, and her BF must be so controlling and awful. I know the coworker well, we're really good friends. She doesn't have a BF, she's single and loving it. She went through a bit of a reinventing of herself and dumped a bunch of fake interpersonal relationships she felt she was keeping up just for appearances, family, acquaintances, and friends all. She talks online a lot, but really dislikes going out and being stereotypically sociable. She's been immersed in her own art and has been building up a body of work she's happy with and really proud of, finally. She's happier than I've ever known her, but a pair of extroverts felt she must be so unhappy now that she's gotten rid of things unimportant to her, that they sounded near ready to perform an intervention. I think it's a holdover from more awkward high school years when people wouldn't talk because they felt unwelcome, so the extroverts would try to make sure they feel included. Some adults still have that issue too. It's fair for the extroverts to still want to try to include those people, in their defense. They just have no way to tell the people who want to be involved but struggle with doing so from the people who don't want to be involved in the conversation. Many people have been in a situation where they don't know very many people at a party, and would like to join a conversation, but don't want to step on anyone's toes. I think the problem is that asking the titular question is clearly not the best way to engage someone in a conversation. So why do people do it? My theory is that when people learn to speak they tend to repeat common phrases. What I mean is they've seen this situation before, and they've seen other people say, "Why are you so quiet?" and so when they are in the same situation they ask the same question. It's almost like a learned habit. People are way less original than they think they are. Most people have these societal ingrained behaviors that influence what they say and how they act. A radiologist I once worked with always had savage zingers, as I called them. An ultrasound tech was talking his ear off within my earshot one day and the end of the conversation was, "Rad, I gotta get back to my office." Tech, can I just get in one more sentence? Rad, is it going to be a run-on sentence? Silence. Rad walks away. I almost died. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. One of my now close friends is very quiet and introverted. For years, I thought he didn't like me at all. Eventually I figured out how to communicate with him. He's someone who actually thinks before he speaks, which is surprisingly rare. Like you would ask a question and he wouldn't answer, so I would assume he was ignoring me out of dislike, when in all actuality, he thinks deeply about things before giving an opinion, so you may wait a few minutes in silence before he responds. Once I figured this out, we started to have a true friendship. I'm an extrovert who has recently taught himself to listen more than speak. I'm a contractor and I just knew that I had a tendency to dominate conversation and had to make the conscious effort to shut the fuck up and listen to my customers. It has affected my entire life in a positive way. It's probably more profitable, too. I imagine it is. It's something my wife brought up before I even met my first customer. My all-time favorite barber would ask me what I wanted and then didn't say a word the entire time. As he moved up and got more clients, I was easily paying him $50 per haircut. Worth every cent though. My hairstylist is friendly and extroverted. But the first time I went, I asked her if it was okay if I worked on my iPad. Now I just pull it out as soon as I get there and she holds all small talk until I'm checking out. I always leave a generous tip, and she knows it's not personal. I've been going to her for 10 years, and I don't really care what she does to my hair or how much she charges.